Cheers.
I know, I miss drinking with y'all. Happy Valentine's. Let's get into some girl chat.
Well, it's Valentine's Day, and if you're going on a date tonight, country superstar Dolly Parton has some advice for you. Now, Dolly was recently on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and shared a confession about a date that really went wrong. When Dolly was 17 years old, ladies, she went on a date with a guy who kicked her out of her car and made her walk home through a forest of bears and bobcats. Dolly said it was a put out or get out situation, but then looking back, she probably would have stayed in the car because it's better to be chewed on by a boy than a bear. Okay? So ladies, like Dolly, have you had to resort to any drastic measures to ditch a date? Come on.
Let me just
It's
say
Friday.
this.
That's
If
wild.
I was in that car, getting out of the car, confronting a bear, I'm considered dark meat. I would have put out. I would have put out in a heartbeat. I've done it for less.
Yo, you gotta think these things through. Like,
Come
I
on
would have
now.
just told him something to get me in a safer area. Like, I would have been like, oh, yes, like, can
Let's
we
go
get
to
a
the mall.
hotel room? That would make me feel better. Or hey, why don't we grab some drinks before? Like, I would have attempted to use my powers of persuasion to get me into a safer environment and not get thrown out in the middle of the forest.
Have you not seen Dateline? That doesn't happen. That doesn't work.
I've watched it all. I've
It
watched
doesn't
it all.
happen as perfectly as that.
I
Sometimes they
know,
want it
I
then
know,
and they
I
want
know.
it now, and it's not a safe
That's
situation.
so
But
scary.
No.
I'm with you, Adrian. I would have absolutely conjured up some type of scheme to get myself to a safer place. But then, because I'm so petty and I'm so angry that he put me in that much of a situation, that I would then trick him somehow to maybe go get the hotel key, and I'm gonna go and get changed, and then I'm gonna grab his car keys and leave his ass there, because that is the sickest
Exactly.
situation for a woman to be in.
Oh,
Have you ever had to
Absolutely
ditch a
terrible.
date though? Have you ever because one time I was doing blind dates. This is about 10 years ago. I was doing these blind dates and I met this guy. I didn't know what he looked like, totally blind date. And when I got there, it was not what I expected. So we were sitting at the restaurant and I did the old, what they call it, the disappearing act. I was like, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I
did?
just left. Oh yeah.
You stood him up
He
there.
probably
I have-
still at the
Irish
restaurant.
exited.
Yeah,
I
they
had
called.
texted friends and said, call me in
Really?
5 minutes. And then I'm like, oh my God, there's an emergency. I have to go.
But have you ever been in a
That's the best
situation
thing
where
to
you
set up,
actually
Garcelle.
have you ever been in
What
a
did you-
situation where you actually felt like I have to get out of here, like this person is pushing up on me or wanting too much from me or something that I
Yeah.
don't want right now and I've got to get out of here? I have to be honest, I thank God I've never felt like the Dolly experience where like I full on got to be left in the middle of the forest.
Right.
Yeah, but I've been trying to think of ideas of how I can get out of here for sure.
See, y'all lucky because now you have cell phones. Back then, we didn't
Yeah.
have cell phones.
Right.
So you
That's
can use your
true.
cell phones to text people. You can set an alarm. You can do all kind of things if you go out on
That's
dates
true.
and you don't feel comfortable. Y'all lucky.
Or-
Yeah.
'Cause back then, we had to use our brain power.
Or you can just say, thank you so much, but I don't feel there's chemistry, and I wish you well. And you get up and you leave. Maybe you leave
No.
$20 if you have
What if
that
that-
don't
What do you
work.
think?
That's when they
that
pull
don't
over
work.
and leave you in the forest.
That
no,
don't
if
work.
you're at dinner, I wasn't at
don't
the
work.
forest till I left the forest. Now I'm at dinner.
Then he'll be calling you all
You know
kind of
what,
names.
though?
That don't work.
This is a crazy
leave.
thing, but I have friends who are dating now and tell me that it's a drastically different change from men today versus men before, and they
Yeah.
think specifically it's because of Me Too. Because men are now more aware that we
Yeah.
can't just be taken for granted. We can't just be told what to do
Yeah.
or put in weird situations that make us feel uncomfortable, that they're overly careful to not be placed in that predicament, and that I
Yeah.
am thankful for.